Hello, my name is Sharina Young, and I'll be talking to you today about rewarding the performance of the employees. And I'll also be discussing about how effective pay is in motivating the employees. Employees are often the most expensive part of the business, but they're also the part of the business that makes you the most profit and also the most productivity. We're also going to be discussing about how using pay to increase productivity may not always be the most effective way to increase workers' productivity. We will be discussing how intrinsic value, autonomy, and job satisfaction can have even greater impact than just wages alone. In one study in the United Kingdom, the healthcare workers' plan was tied to a program called Quality and Outcomes Framework. In this program, the healthcare physician's compensation was tied to the quality of care, not just the quantity of registered patients. The results found in this study were positive in that the patient's health care did improve. One would then believe all a person had to do to increase productivity or goals was just to tie increases in pay to targeted goals or objectives. Yet, most healthcare workers have an intrinsic value when they chose the professions that they've already are in. They have chosen the profession that they are in because they wanted to help their fellow man. So, what is intrinsic value? People are motivated by intrinsic value that is gained from the task that they are engaged in. This intrinsic validation comes from a value system that is held deep within a person's own personal value system, and it's important to them. An example, a parent may tell a 5-year-old, you have to clean your room and I need to see your floor before you can go play. They may choose to pile everything on top of the bed, and in their mind they've accomplished the task that their parent has asked them to do. And in the child's mind, they can go play. Now, this child may respond in a variety of other ways. They may choose to clean it nicely with everything in its place. Now, this is not to suggest that employers treat employees like children as they try to motivate them, even though at times it may seem that this is the only thing that is working. Performance of employees can be a point of frustration for supervisors and managers. Let's look at a second example. A worker in a microchip factory that is in the production of 1,000 computer chips that will be going past him at their station at a specified pace. One worker goes to work, he does his time, punches his pay check, and then he takes that paycheck, pays the rent, and starts the process all over again. This could be drudgery. At the same factory, there is another worker who whistles as he comes to work. And yet, he seems to have a better attitude as the same 1,000 computer chips are going past him. They're in the same position, but they value it differently. The difference here is that the intrinsic value that each one of them has is different. A person's intrinsic value is something very unique, and it varies from one individual to another, as we've seen in this illustration. The value to the worker that has been whistling could be attributed to an end benefits, such as an employee feeling pride at being able to put a roof over his family's head. While supervisors and managers cannot control the amount of intrinsic value that an employee has, they can influence the environment that encourage employees to gain more intrinsic value to the tasks that are assigned to them. Job satisfaction is closely tied to autonomy at work. This will give them more pride in their job. This is also an indicator of intrinsic value. Autonomy is the ability to influence or to have the ability to exercise some measure of control over the environment in which a person is in. When given more choices on how a task is completed, employees will show a positive correlation to not disengage from the task, so they want to be there a little bit more. The design of a better workstation or a variety of tasks assigned to them are some ways to implement autonomy. Even letting employees decide which colleagues they sit by can influence productivity. They now have, again, partial control in the task in which they are doing. Rewarding production quotas is also in a meaningful way to the employees another way to give intrinsic value to the employees. The more invested someone is into a task, the more productive they will be. For instance, let's say that your supervisor hands you a $20 bill because your division has met all the quotas for production for the entire quarter. that employee now has pride in what he's done. He has more job satisfaction in what he's been doing. Personal job satisfaction is like grading one's own experience from the job. Job satisfaction is so much more than just getting paid. Productivity, base compensation, and autonomy are both important to employee satisfaction. However, it is autonomy that is valued the most. Now, pay does motivate people to go to work. However, it is only part of the reason as to how well the people will perform while they are at work. The intrinsic value can be improved upon by giving autonomy to people that they have towards the task and the personal satisfaction that they gain from that experience. By setting the stage of helping to build the employee to grow, the company will grow as well. Through the careful combination and thought given to the monetary reward, the intrinsic validation of the employee to the tasks that they are assigned, and autonomy and job satisfaction, an employer can achieve the most benefit from their employees. Are there any questions? Thank you for your time.